Hi, my name is Nick Malone and I'm an artist based in London. We run classes for beginners here at the studio and you can always find us on our website www.londonartclasses.com, and there's a link to this website on the internet page as well. Today we're going to look at how to make a collage. A collage is when you get together different pieces of material and attach them to a card or something sufficiently strong to support them and make a picture that way. The idea was first developed by Picasso at the beginning of the last century, but today it's a very useful way of making all sorts of ideas come together. So let's just have a look what we're going to need to get started. First of all, we need something that's strong enough to support other materials to be attached to it. So for example, I got a piece of cardboard here or a piece of board. It doesn't need to be too heavy because it's only supporting paper, but it doesn't need to, you don't want it flopping around. Also, we're going to have material with which we can attach the bits of paper or the other stuff that we're going to use to the support. So for instance, I think a good thing is to have acrylic gloss medium, because acrylic is great to hold pieces together, and if you want to paint with acrylics on top, then there's no problem with that. And with acrylic gloss medium, you can get it either like in a gel, such as this, or you can get it in more liquid form, like this. It's a form of glue, but it's also used in painting a lot, so you can combine your painting with your gluing and with the different pieces of photography and paper that go in the collage. You're also going to need things to cut up the pieces of paper or other material that you're going to use in your collage, so it's a good idea to prepare yourself with some scissors. A scalpel is a good idea, or maybe a Stanley knife, and also something if you want to spread out the collage, like a palette knife like this, or something a little bit wider. Okay. So the next thing you're going to need are the materials that you're going to include in your collage. Now, these might well be photographs that you're picking up from a magazine or that you've taken yourself. They could be bits of painting that you yourself have done at some previous time, and they could also be different pieces of material. For an example of tracing paper or coloured papers like this, and so forth. So what you then want to do is to start to cut out the parts of the collage that you're going to use. Maybe you decide, okay, well, I'm going to use that part of this image here. And then you just cut that out and you put it on the base. Let's use a white base here, so you put it on there like that. And then maybe you decide that you want to use maybe part of this figure here, like this. Put that there. And then maybe you want to just have some areas of plain colour. So maybe you have a bit of coloured paper that you cut up into the shape that you want, and you have that ready as well there. And maybe on top of that you've got, I don't know, you particularly like a pattern on this packet here, and you cut up part of that and so forth. You take the point that you can use anything in collage. You can tear, you can add, you can cut up. It doesn't really matter, because the idea of it is just to liberate your imagination. That you don't get too caught up with traditional stuffy ways of doing things. You can just move ideas around quite quickly, and you can put in all those images that you picked up in magazines, or the photos that you took, or bits of material that you just kind of liked, bits of cloth or whatever, and you can put them all together in something that you find appealing. And the next good thing about it is that you can then start arranging them in the way that you like. And that might have particular significance for you. Maybe there's a little bit of painting that you've done a while ago and you wanted to use that as well. So you cut that out, as long as, of course, you didn't want to keep the whole painting, and you could add that in. And you could start to redesign it into something that appeals. Sometimes when you're arranging your ideas, you might want to use a bit of glue tack just to kind of hold them in place. And you may think, right, okay, well that would look good there, and then maybe I want that attached to that there, and so forth, until you've got just the composition that you like. And then you're in a position then to think, okay, well, that's the arrangement that I'm going to go for, and you could take a pencil and then you could just draw gently round the different shapes that you're going to use in your collage, and then you're safe to remove them, and you can just add a little bit of gel onto the surface and then stick them down. Or you could, maybe you want to use a knife to put it in, whatever it is. Stick it down like that, and then build it up until you have an arrangement that you particularly like. And that basically is collage. Remember that you can use all sorts of different materials with collage as long as they'll stick on the surface and they're held together. The idea is to completely liberate yourself. So you could use, as I say, photos, you could use bits of wallpaper, anything that comes into your head, and you could just attach it. Maybe this bit of sponge will go on, and so forth, until you've got something that you're really happy with, and then you can frame it and put it on your wall.